The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. Shalom, shalom.
You think you can lie to me? I see it's written all over your face.
They think they can lie to us. Come on in, brothers and sisters. Bless you. Come on.
Scientific intricity you created out in space.
They think they can lie to us. Huh?
You can do what you wanna do.
They tap our phones.
We know you're listening.
Know you're listening.
How you wanna think now?
But you can't stop us. The truth is rising.
But to lose, we refuse.
We won't lose.
I will go down.
Come on.
Gotta fight.
You think that I can't see that what you're doing to me? Oh.
You cannot defeat
Come on.
me. 'Cause I'm out of your league. My hand on your heel, I'm pulling through.
We're pulling through.
Step ahead of you.
They think that I can't see.
You know.
A higher power's with me. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathered of Christ Church here with your weekly update, okay? Your weekly update for Patreon. That's right. I won't be here too long because I want to transition and make sure I get in a few phone calls. And if you're in the academy and have any questions based on our last lesson, I'll be more than happy to answer those also, okay? And thank you for all your support. All praises be to the Most High, Ahaya, Ashah, Ahaya, which is the God of Israel, for revealing the truth, for revealing the truth in these last days. This is our weekly update before transitioning over into Patreon. Now, before I go in this coming Sunday, that's right, week 5. That's right, folks, week 5, time is flying. Our lesson will be exposing the truth of Islam. Was Islam created by the Catholic Church? That and more. And are they worshiping together at the high rungs of religious and political power over the children of Israel in the earth? Well, I'm going to break that down in the academy. And guess what? The same goddess whom the Catholic Church worship, as well as the Muslims, that's right, goddess. The same goddess at the helm. That's right, folks. I'm going to give you some insight and tie it all in together today on how they worship this particular deity using feminism or the woman movement to actually bring forth a destruction on earth, unbeknownst to any of us, targeting men. But first of all, it will be targeting the children of Israel, Judah. And I'm going to talk about that. There's a goddess at the helm being worshiped Catholic Church, Muslims. Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? Y'all didn't know that. Are you in for a treat this academy? Huh? Are you in for a treat? You didn't know that. I'm going to show you how it all coincides politically in this earth today. It's really the introduction of the goddess that was worshipped, the hunter goddess. And folks, who, according to the Bible, was and is the cunning hunter? Esau. So he would also implement a philosophy in the earth using a goddess he served as a hunter goddess to destroy the children of Israel. And it would be deeply enthralled within all of their political agendas to use this same goddess and her ideology to destroy their enemies. Ishmael had this goddess as well as the Roman Empire. Was Islam created by the Roman Catholic Church? Well, we have proof. We have a Jesuit priest videos that they attempted to take down years ago, but I kept clips. And I'm going to show you that this Catholic Church, this Catholic Jesuit revealed the truth concerning, that's right, the true connection politically and religiously between our people, they were our brothers, Ishmael and Esau, operating together to destroy the children of Israel. And they'll play what? They'll play good cop, bad cop. They'll even have a good cop, bad cop narrative geopolitically to make us think that they're fighting against each other when it's really two sides against us. Well, I don't want to spend too much time here, so let me jump right into it to give you some insight to what we'll be talking about this coming Sunday. This coming Sunday. Brothers and sisters, did y'all know that Allah had a name before there was any religion such as Islam? Folks, Islam came up in the 7th century, okay? Muhammad himself was born around the early 600s, right? Around 620, around that time, AD. One of the newest religions on earth, right? Right? So who was Allah before the Muslims called him Allah? Him or her? Huh? Well, let's look at this a lot. There go your Allah before. This is pre Muslim. This is before pre-Islam. When the Middle Easterns or the Arabs was worshiping a goddess under Persian mythology by the name of Allah. See? Look at this. Oh, you thought it was a guy. Allah. Pre-Islamic Arabian goddess. Associated throughout the entire Arabian Peninsula, including Mecca. Including Mecca. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. You have a goddess worship through the Catholic Church by the name of Mary, which has nothing to do with the Mary in the Bible, folks. Christ's mother. Zero. And on top of that, you have a female deity by the name of Allah, pre-Islamic goddess. That's right, who still is being worshiped till this day. Till this day, folks. At the Kaaba. I'm going to tie this in, folks. I'm going to tie this all the way in for you. A little bit today, but I'm going to finish it this coming Sunday when I expose the truth of Islam, okay? Now, I need y'all to see this. Right? And see, and that's why the Bible tells us, beware of worshiping or dealing with the dumb stone. Right? I want y'all to see this real quick, if you will. If you will. 1 second. Let me pull it up here. Let me pull it up. right? Let me see. Let me show you here. The black rock, right? Let me show you. See, a lot of y'all didn't know this. See, we're revealing the truth to you here, right? I'm going to show you what they were doing real quick. What they were doing at the Kaaba stone. Right? I'm going to show y'all real quick. Let me show you. It's two I want to show you real quick. 1 second. And a lot of you don't know this. At the Wailing Wall, you have Muslims, Christians, as well as those who worship, in the religion Judaism. So they all together worshiping together, and they have narratives of good cop, bad cop to us, right? So I want y'all to see this real quick, if you will. I'm going to just show you a few, if you will. Real quick. Right? Real quick, as you can see, they stick their head at the Kaaba inside something to kiss and touch the Kaaba stone, right? Yeah, this is the Mecca. But what are they sticking their head in? As you can see, if you will, I'm going to pull it up for you. The white stone. This so happens to be a woman's, I would say, fertility. Used for her fertility. Let me put it that way. The fertility goddess at the corner of the Kaaba stone, which is a woman's. That's right. You got it. And they stick their head into this thing and kiss it. Paying homage to the Persian goddess? A lot. Pre-Islamic. Do y'all see this? She has many names, right? The goddess of war, peace, combat, and prosperity. So, of course, they'll use a lot an innocent deity, right? A non-threatening deity to bring forth any initiative war against their enemies, right? The goddess of war, peace, combat, and prosperity. The unassuming goddess that's used to destroy. Pre-Islamic, her name is now Allah. According to the Catholic Church, her name is Mary. But it's not the Mary of the Bible. They don't care about the Bible. The Bible is really the book that threatens them, that actually expose their lies. See, they hide behind our biblical names to gain trust. But all in all, folks, they don't believe in the Bible at all. They hate the Bible because the Bible is exposing them, especially when it's come to find that we are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. So they needed just to deceive us long enough to a point where they would what? Where they would have so much power over our people. They had to deceive us long enough to destroy us to a point where now they feel that they have dismantled us so that there's no way our people can actually recover. So they had to hold us off long enough into a point where there would be no recourse or no possible threat against them destroying our people. But guess what? They counted out God, right? So let me go into this real quick. What will we be talking about? What will we be talking about? Okay. Not just in the academy, but I'm going to be going into this all the way from tomorrow, the academy, all of that, folks. But we're going to be talking about this goddess. Who is this goddess over Islam, over Christianity? And how have she been introduced politically into our society to destroy the prophecy? And the prophecy is the awakening of the children of Israel. See, the Satanists call this the age of Aquarius. They were waiting for a point where they could no longer conceal their hatred against God's people, and that they would actually have what? full power within the earth to destroy their enemy. No more sitting back, right? No more sitting back acting as if they are in some type of an agreement or an alliance or or feel that they have some type of public care for us. See, that's the game they played long enough through Christianity and others to get us in a posture where they can actually destroy us at the age of Aquarius. When what? When, according to them, all truth would be revealed on the earth and all lies would become uncovered. Well, one of those lies during the age of Aquarius that they've been waiting for is the fact that our people would no longer believe that we are minorities. That we would understand that according to prophecy, we're next as the children of Israel, the children of prophecy. See? This is why they introduced Islam at a time when we were united under the Bible for civil rights as a tactic for divide and conquer. Well, suppose that was using the goddess. Huh? Using the goddess. Huh? Folks, in actuality, we have been experiencing a holy war since the fall of Jerusalem. Don't let anyone have you believe that what's going on right now is some type of biblical phenomenon that has something to do with God's people. Okay. I can respect conquerors for being conquerors. So yes, there's legitimacy for people conquering land because the Bible said they would conquer land. But it's speaking of the Romans conquering land. So yeah, there's some legitimacy with who's the rightful owner now. But guess what? There will be a changing of guard. And while they are setting things up over there, they're politically attacking us at the same time. Right? So I'm here to make sense of this for all of you through the Spirit of the Almighty. Right? So I'm going to show you how they use the goddess real quick before transitioning over into Patreon. Go to Patreon.com/AGathering144. And again, Patreon did something different. Okay. When it comes to you coming into Patreon, you have to click the button so that it can actually transition you to our video now. They switched I know. I apologize. They gave us no insight. They gave us no forewarning that the platform would change. But what I'm going to do is make sure after the broadcast, have our technical people upload the video on Patreon so you can see it like you used to see it before. So you're not going to be able to view it live on Patreon. You'll click the button. It'll transfer you into where we're streaming. And then after that, we'll upload it so that Patreon members who aren't here for the live stream can actually see the information, okay, that you've participated in, that you've supported for, okay? Now, fair use. Fair use, just playing a little bit of this before I transition. Fair use. How do they use the goddess? And I'm speaking of those Arabs as well as Esau, okay? So they have us believe that, okay, there's these groups and all this other stuff, when geopolitically their plan is to destroy us. Okay? That's sleight of hand. How do we know this? Fair use. A matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I put fair use on the screen here. And this is for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. How do they use the goddess? Fair use.
U.S. police are training in Israel, and that's something every American should be concerned about. As protests sweep across the U.S., it's becoming...
Now, this was years ago, 2017, 16, 17, up to 18. The Israeli government began to train the police force in America. And then there's some people claiming that some of those tactics led to the death of George Floyd. So what does a foreign entity have to do with training police in our communities? Right? Now, I thought that that the state of Israel were our allies. That they were our allies, and this is why we should support a war, be on their side of the war. Right? Understandably so. But no one is talking about this. We're not Al Qaeda, right? We're not Hamas, are we? Will they switch us to them? I don't know. But I think you better see this.
U.S. police are training in Israel, and that's something every American should be concerned about. As protests sweep across the U.S., it's becoming increasingly clear that law
Now, you notice every time they talk about Israel in America, they conveniently show signs of Black Lives Matter, okay? Black Lives Matter, I believe, and I know this for sure, isn't some organic organization that sprung out from the grassroots of our communities. That's what the governments would have our people believe. And that's not me stating this. The founder of Black Lives Matters have stated this, that they were trained from the outside of us. Okay? So now, but you notice strategically, every time they talk about Israel training cops, you see Black Lives Matter, right? First of all, what are they training our police for? And see, so that you don't believe that this is a conspiracy theory, I go straight to Israel's news, international news. And for those of you in the Hebrew and Bible Academy every Sunday, you understand we deal with this news from an international perspective. And we like to get it from the horse's mouth, right? Straight from the horse's mouth. The Times of Israel. This is what? A reputable State of Israel publication online, right? For the Jewish community worldwide. ADL, which is an organization, and a matter of fact, a lot of you don't know that Farrakhan is suing the ADL right now, and that will be an entirely different topic we talk about next week. And ADL, which is an American-created entity, right? It says, and this is news, ADL considered scrapping its U.S. training trips to Israel and decided not to. So the ADL, who's a organization that works for the embetterment of Jewish people, predominantly within the United States and abroad, or whatever the case is, it's a group, and we're going to talk about that this next Wednesday. But it says they considered scrapping its U.S. police training trips to Israel and decided not to. So what is United States police training in Israel for? And why are they training our police to police our people over here? Does that make any sense to you? And look at the training. Huh? Think about that. Think about that. Now let's go back to the goddess. Let's keep it in context. What do I mean by we're really being attacked under a goddess ideology? Well, let me show you. Gloria Steinem and Dorothy Pittman Hughes. Remember this, folks? Remember this? Gloria Steinem and Dorothy Pittman Hughes, right? Which was in actuality the what? Aligning propaganda to stifle the civil rights movement. Now, there is some questions out there, maybe, that there's some CIA attachment to Gloria Steinem, this Jewish woman right here. But how could they ever make our sisters believe that her concerns were our concerns? What was this? Oh, yeah. When it came to civil rights, we were fighting for civil rights for this sister too. Right? But the white woman felt upset, understanding that we were going to get the right to vote as black men initially, and said, how can, and this is what their questions were, how can now black men have more political power than white women? So they were fighting for something entirely different. They wanted to make sure the black man stay under the white woman's power politically, when you do the research. So their argument to their people was, how can you give black men the right to vote? And that automatically that will give them what? Political power over your woman. You can't give them the right to vote and not give us the right to vote too. See? So it was about consolidating and keeping power for the white woman. Okay? And to do that, she had to be what? She had to be in position to circumvent the power of the black man. So they made her a minority. See, the hunter works in many ways. So let me align myself with his other half and make her believe the issue I have with my man is the same issue she has with hers. A goddess ideology. Now, if only we knew that this would eventually turn into the political agenda that they would use to actually destroy our people altogether. And this is why I call this when equality becomes genocide. When equality becomes genocide, because how did we know that this would turn into this? Patrisse Cullors. See, Esau is very patient. You give our women the right to stand with us. But no. If they were going to give us rights, no, they couldn't give us rights without intervening. They had to allow our rights to become split. With now, the black woman would have dual alliances. With who? She'll have some alliances with her own man, but a second alliance with the same woman who was oppressing her. The white woman. Divide and conquer. And this began to confuse our women, but all in all, they took on what? A spirit of the goddess. It became religious, where I'm going to tell you, feminism is the spirit of the goddess a lot. The spirit of Ashtoreth, the hunter goddess. To where if you take on this demon, you will see men as the enemy and politically move to kill him. And this is where Patrisse Cullors come in at. Because this gave room for this. Where now this would become the civil rights movement altogether, accomplished where the black man have no rule in leading our people politically, religiously, and otherwise. This was their plan. Fair use. Listen.
I also think that it might, I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers.
We're trained organizers. Out of her own mouth. She didn't come grassroots out of our community. Where her movement organically came out of what? Out of the love and the protection of our people. The civil rights movement was created out of oppression, chattel slavery. It created itself from the grassroots. She didn't come out of that. She was trained, indoctrinated.
Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
We are trained Marxists out of her mouth. Now, I'm going to go into this more as we transition over into Patreon, because I'm not going to be here all day. But it so happens, right? Let me show you Patrisse Cullors' quote unquote wife. Now, the Bible defines husband and wife entirely different, and I lean towards the traditional definitions for the word, for those words. Okay? All right. Husband, man, wife is the woman of that man. according to the Bible. We're Bible people. But let me show you, oxymoron here, whatever the case might be. Let me show you Patrice Cullors' wife. Janaea Khan, a Black Lives Matter protest in Hollywood, June 7, 2022. She was moved to become the leader of the movement, organizing the movement in Canada. See? Let me show you now how Esau used the spirit of the goddess hunter to hunt us. Right? To hunt the man. It started here. And through this, gave a door politically into the colleges where they can indoctrinate some of our women to continue in the vein of this evil alliance. See, you don't understand these colleges. Yes, much education is there, but college, under many circumstances, folks, is a religious institution. You must have the knowledge and foundation spiritually to be able to go into college and filter out what you need without being indoctrinated. The whole thing of college was an initial religious institution, folks. This is where your policy and your religion, your authoritative religion came from in ancient Greece and Rome. So they indoctrinate our sisters into Marxism. Right? Lesbians, obviously they must have an affinity for women and think less of when it comes to traditional values for men. For whatever reason, that's an entirely different conversation we can have later, but there's a reason why these women chose each other. Okay? And you have to talk to them about that, but I'm not going to go into that. But now let's show you how it comes around full circle. Let's go here, right? Let's go back. Let's go back here and let's go here now. A Jewish woman, Gloria Steinem, and a Judite woman, okay, and a Judite woman, Dorothy Pittman Hughes. And now you see how Black Lives Matter came out of some Marxist organization, right? Trained Marxist, she said herself. So let's see, we see the black woman now and what her thing is. Her civil rights movement have nothing to do with the black man at all. The only celebration of the black man is that he's dead, and therefore it empowers her to become the new leader over the black man. Was that their plan the whole time? To only celebrate or care about a black man rotting in the ground? Well, that's the black side. But let's look at the Jewish side now, right? As far as some of what's going on with black woman, white woman. And you have this woman in 2018 who has an ideology, right? Now check out what she says, right? Check out what this woman says, right? Now, who is this woman? Who is this woman? Let me get her real quick here. A matter of fact, she can tell you better than I can. Judith Varnai Shora. She's an Israeli consulate. Okay, let's get her. She's an Israeli consulate, folks. An Israeli consulate. And she worked generally in the Atlanta area, right? And what does she say? The major problem with Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Now, she didn't know that this was being filmed privately, okay? She didn't know that this was being filmed. This was a private meeting that wasn't meant for our people to ever figure out what they talk about when the cameras are off. See, when the cameras are rolling, we're all buddy-buddy. It's all good. It's beautiful. We're both two struggling minorities in the same country with similar plights and should fight on either side against white supremacy and all this other crap they try to align with us. But this white woman who Israeli consulate says the major problem with Israel is with the young generation of black community. Censored documentary exposes Israel's attack on Black Lives Matter. Now, what they have done was tied Black Lives Matter to black youth right in front of us, when we have nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. The spirit of the goddess Hunter.
Varnai Shorer. She's a former Israeli.
Right? Listen to her.
Saying that the biggest problem that they had was young black people in the United States. But don't worry, they've got some black.
Listen to it.
Video of the Israeli
she
government
didn't know
that
this was being filmed. She didn't know it.
One of the.
Let's get it. Hold on.
The black community. The problem is.
She didn't know this was being filmed, folks. Look. Nice and slow. Look.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
Hold on. Let me move fair use out of the way so you all can see it. It's slowed down out of her own mouth. Was this the plan under feminism, folks? Was this an ancient ideology to use the woman and the innocence of the woman, the non-threatening posture of the woman, to circumvent and to eventually, that's right, kill the same people? To kill the same people who championed civil rights. And it started right here. And it's a shame because why? This sister could never be equal to this sister, this woman over here. A matter of fact, this woman would be played against this woman to cause further insecurities in our community. They would use TV and everything to make everyone believe that the black man wants her, when 80% of marriages amongst the black man is with a sister. And it was more than that before this happened. That's her so-called wife. And now we're looking at one side, the black side, who's against the man. And now we're looking at the other side who was aligned for the feminist movement. While Esau, the man, is in the back saying, okay, kill and destroy for me, both of you. And when Judah is too weak to understand what's going on, I'll come with the army. Right? I'm lying. Now, how do you know it's the goddess that they worship? Going back to Islam now. Going back to Islam, the goddess of fertility. Allah, the goddess who's Allah, which is a female deity. A fertility goddess of war, peace, combat, and prosperity. So no wonder they'll use the Islamic war, jihad, left, right, Muslim Christian narrative to make us believe they're at war with one another. When really they're circling around with all these wars to actually draft international policy that's killing us in our communities. And they came right out and showed you that they were worshiping the goddess. Check out Patrice. This is a performance where she's actually what? Prayer to the Ayami. Who's the Ayami? Who is the Ayami? The Ayami is a Yoruba term of respect and endearment used to describe a woman of African ancestry who's considered to be an Aji, a woman who wields myriad, arcane, creative, biological, spiritual, and cosmic power. That's right, folks. What are we talking about? We're talking about the spirit of the deity, the ancient deities, the goddess Hunter. The Queen Mother God garbage, when really it's had nothing to do with that. It's actually doing what? It's invoking a demon that hates men and use them politically and otherwise in our society to circumvent and to destroy the threat against evil. The Most High have risen Judah in the last days to warn all people, and they knew this day would come, and they put all of these systems in front of us, dividing us, invoking a demon of a goddess to destroy us. Ayami Aji. Witches. So here it is. They have her plan on one side, radicalizing our people, using what? Liberalism, and using over-sexuality and all these letter people and all that to demonize us, to give now the white woman in the Israeli consulate the full fuel she needs to demonize all of our people who are coming to the knowledge that we are the children of Israel. I need y'all to check this out. I have a lot of resentment, Patrice Cullors, and the co-founding Black Lives Matter, the backlash, and why the police must go. She telling us that the police must go, right? You see how they working this? At the same time, the Israeli consulate is saying our people are a threat during the same time that the ADL is saying that it's okay for Israeli police to actually continue to teach police and military tactics while policing our people in the community. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I'm going to let her say it again, and then we're transitioning over. We're going to transition over. Listen to it again. For Judah Vernay Shora, who knew that this would turn in to this? And guess who's between the crosshairs? Guess who they're targeting? The black man in America who's from the tribe of Judah. They feel that if they knock down Judah the domino, the rest of the dominoes will fall, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Because it's through us teaching the whole world recognize and are looking at them over there in the land in contrast to the lost sheep of Israel that are identified in the Bible. And if it wasn't for Judah standing up with this, it wouldn't be a conversation. And now it's leaning into their political movement because they needed the churches to back it as some type of prophetic takeover. So with us claiming to be Israelites, folks, it got in the way of their political agendas. Because at once, the whole world believed that they were religiously and prophetically justified. So since Judah began to say, no, hold up, they can be who they wanted, they can conquer whatever they want to conquer. But according to the Bible, we're the children of Israel. And that's getting in the way of what? Spiritual support. Empathy from religious Christian organizations who once backed them, believing that there was some association with Christ. And now they realize, and people starting to realize, as they crucified Christ, they would be politically driven to kill the people who brought forth the man-child, Judah. Told you I was going to tie this all together. Let's go. Now what they're planning. Judah.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
The major problem, now she had no idea, brothers and sisters, that she was being filmed. Someone leaked this. Someone was in this meeting and was in total disagreement with what? With what they were discussing concerning the future of our communities in the inner cities. If she's a constant for Israel, why is she saying privately that the biggest threat, major problem to the state of Israel is our people who aren't even thinking about them? Our people are just trying to, we're barely surviving in the country. We're not even thinking about them. At the same time, we think that we are what? Allies, and that they care about our plight. No. The whole time they're discussing how to deal with our youth, our sons in particular, because they can easily try to do what? In every war, folks, and in every war, your focus isn't the woman. In every war, the focus isn't the woman. Because after you kill off the men, it tell you through time immemorial, after you kill off the men, what would they do? They would just take over the women. They will grape the women and bring forth their own children through them. The target is never the woman. Women are used as proxy. Women can be utilized because they don't have the strength against men. So the target is never the man. Okay, never the woman. Now, if they can get the woman to take sides against the man, then it makes their job easier because they can easily take over the woman and the children. See? So the whole deal is they're using these women politically who hate men politically. That's right, folks. To spearhead a Marxist ideology that would lead to them destroying your sons, who they know, according to the Bible, are next. Why? Folks, they've been doing the tallying in the number of men, young men and women who are no longer under their control. When we were predominantly in the Christian church, they weren't worried about our men because church is predominantly matriarchal with what? With an Edomite, which is a white theology that kept us from ever understanding our power. But once they realized that they had no longer do they have any religious control over us or political control over us, you know what they did? They pulled the linchpin and say, listen, let's blow the whole thing up. We can't slowly kill them and or control them through their women and our religion. So we're going to move these women in political positions, religious positions, and align them with a party who will now do what? Totally destroy the community by what? Extracting the father out of the element. And by doing so, you would have a pool of malcontents that we can now politically claim is a threat now. See? And at the same time, we're going to report in Israel that Israelites are this and Israelites are that, and they came down, or even though there was a news article that proved that story, whatever that story was, talking about they came into a market and all these others. And then another news article said that, well, hold up. Well, there was no ties to Israelites per se or a group. But now they were saying that some things that was happening where black Israelites were operating as terrorists almost against some of these, what you would call Orthodox Hasidic communities. Folks, wake up. And that's why I titled this, When Equality Becomes Genocide. When equality becomes genocide. Who knew that this would lead to this? Well, that concludes my update. I'm going to open up the lines and we're going to talk about this on the other side through Patreon. All right. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up, sin not. Have a great Sabbath. My loyal Patreonies, come on over. Let's talk. Patreon.com/AGathering144. See you over there. Shalom.
You think you controlling me? You thought that I would stay your slave? Ain't no strings on me. Oh no, controlling us with your frequencies, making it so hard to get away. You can do what you wanna do. Tap our phones, we know you're listening. You can think how you wanna think now, but you can't stop us. The truth is rising. If we lose, we refuse. I will go down without a fight. You think that I can't say, hey, what you doing to me? You cannot defeat me. 'Cause I'm under your lead. My hand on your heel, I'm pulling through. A step ahead of you. You think that I can't see? How your power with me.
About to turn this up a notch, see what it's spitting, push you in shot like electrical current, so current, leaving you paralyzed, and this truth is so amplified, while your ego's reduced in size, we a menace to your society, taking your kingdom violently. Pick a paddle to the battle, we can be here in a valley, of an alley, if the battle is a matter of time, ain't gonna come and we done, you be looking for sign. I run the race until I finish, so higher power giving me the ability, chosen people with no love or mystery, we won't be stopped.
You think that I can't say, hey, what you doing to me?